The pressing and the wannabe bullying of Trap Lord Ross is continuing. They said the feds had to rescue him from Lil Durk people. Lord have mercy.
So apparently the police had to step in to save Trap Lord Ross today at Lil Durk trial. His troubles at Lil Durk trial didn't just start today. The last 2 days have been a nightmare for Ross. Like, for example, there was a video surfacing yesterday of a member of Lil Durk's team confronting Trap Lord Ross before trial started over tweets that Trap Lord Ross posted the night before.
Stupid. On behalf of the Ummah, brother, you made a folly, a fugaboo, where you said that Lil Durk is blaming everything on Viney. To the person, no, listen.
That is what was said. I can't do this right now,
no,
bro.
listen. I want you to clear that. No, I need you to clear that up. I need you to,
that's what's said in court, bro.
But no, that's not what's said in court. That's the legal.
He was trying to give him the microphone and he don't want to take it. Like, nigga, what the fuck?
Team. Viney took listen, why are you running, my guy?
I'm talking about why you running. What are you talking about why you running? It's before trial. He got to go in there so he can report. I'm not finna sit in here and talk.
Listen, that's all I'm telling you. Hold on, my Belizean brother. Listen, all I'm saying is
you need new security, Ross.
Took accountability
his ass.
And then tried to drag Durk in.
Why did DD's lawyers say that Vonnie is acting with the cartel?
I have no idea. All I'm saying is we don't want you to put the narrative out there that Lil Durk is on the stand or testifying against anybody. You said Durk, you said...
Why the fuck does that matter to y'all? Like, that's insane to me, bro. If my homie is in the federal court fighting for his life in a murder trial, why does it matter that there's a narrative on the internet about him testifying or Lil Durk getting on the stand testifying? Why does that matter? This man is fighting for his life in a murder trial where he could potentially get the death penalty. The last thing I give a fuck about is y'all calling him a snitch. I'm sorry, bro. And I damn sure don't care enough about it to quote unquote call myself pressing the... What the fuck is that on the back of his head right there? What is that shit? I don't know what that is. You might need to see a dermatologist about that. But the last thing I care about, you know what I'm saying, is somebody calling my homie a snitch when he in there facing a death penalty. Like, I'd rather my homie be a snitch than get life in prison.
Durk is blaming it on him. He is. He's not. The legal team is saying he has nothing to do with Viney except the responsibility for it. Do you understand? Do you understand the difference, sir?
After he confronted Trap Lord Ross yesterday, during their first recess or their first break of the trial, a larger group confronted Trap Lord Ross for posting that Lil Durk's team is pinning all the crimes on OTF Viney, which is just factual, right? That was their opening statement.
Right.
But apparently today, they are still upset. They're still pissed over more things that Trap Lord Ross have been reporting. This time around, they didn't approach Trap Lord Ross with Assalamu Alaikum, brother. They approached Trap Lord Ross wanting to smoke. It was more...
Listen, y'all, YouTube and Meta might owe you up to $1,000 if you or your child grew up on social media. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health issues, you should hear this. Recently, a jury just ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They know that their apps can cause anxiety, depression, or body image issues, but they never shared those risks with us. They never made us sign anything that we knew the risk. They just maximized their profits. And the recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. But you better not worry. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm that they have caused. Click the link in my bio to take a very short questionnaire quiz because you might be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. Now this security right here, hold on, let me make sure. The pressing. Let me make sure I got my... This security right here look like they could move, they could do something. You know what I'm saying? It look like they a little bit more serious.
That, the court marshals had to step in. It was so hostile. You got the LA Mag. You got third party who don't even know who Trap Lord Ross was at the time, figuring out who he was due to the commotion that took place earlier today.
I'm Taylor Priest with Los Angeles Magazine, and I was leaving the courthouse of day 4 of Lil Durk's trial, I noticed a lot of Free Durk t-shirts standing around Trap Lord Ross. So I asked him about what was going on with that, what the feelings were outside the courthouse today, and this is what he said.
Oh wow, I'm Trap Lord Ross. I'm here at the courthouse. I'm reporting on the Durk trial. It's been very controversial. I've been covering Durk and his drill career as a rapper, one of probably one of my favorite rappers. King Von is definitely one of my favorite rappers. Durk is definitely up there. They call him the voice. But, you know, there's been a lot of things that have been tied to his names over the years. And we're here trying to find out what's going on, trying to find out, you know, who was responsible for the murder of Savia Robinson. And the prosecution are bringing a pretty serious case against Lil Durk and his alleged co-defendants. And we're trying to get to the bottom of it. But it's been very controversial. I've got a lot of people, I've got the Free Durk crew kind of not super happy with me out here. So,
How to free Durk? See, we're saying it's free Durk. So they're here to support Lil Durk. Why should we free Durk? What's the positive feelings you guys have got towards Durk?
There's no reason. You about to say some stupid shit.
Well, the reason why is because, one, he's our brother. So that's why I'm out here. I'm out here in support of the family, and one with the family and one with the Muslims. And as a Muslim, inshallah, whatever happened, we seek forgiveness from Allah from him. And we don't want to put his hands in the hands of the man of the federal government. Whatever we do, we ask God to protect us and cover our sins, and we'll deal with God, and we seek Allah's mercy. Why? They're not spending millions of dollars to stop.
That is the stupid. Basically, so okay. How about this? Let's just free everybody there. Everybody that killed them, everybody killed people and sexual crimes, all that. Let's just free everybody and let God handle them. That's what you want us to do? Well, let me give you a news flash, buddy. God gave us police. Okay? God gave us court. God gave us laws, motherfucker. That's what God gave us. That's what we're using. I don't give a damn what the fuck you talking about because he your brother and let's not put it in the hands of the court. My guy, he knew how this shit worked when he took his ass out there and went and killed them niggas. Y'all want him free because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all kind of like kissing ass a little bit because he your brother. What? Gang, my brother killed somebody, bro. Nigga, listen, gang. I just don't look at life like that, bro. You do wrong, you pay the consequences. I'm not going broke paying for your lawyer. I'm not coming out here spending time away from my kids to stand outside the damn courthouse for no reason. I'm not doing none of that, bro. You knew what you was doing, gang. I'm just saying, let's assume that Lil Durk did it, right? You knew what you was doing. You knew what the crime was called. You had heard of murder before, and you're not 5 years old. You're a grown-ass man. These laws, these courtrooms, and the system was implemented to at least try to have some type of justice while we're still on earth. Because unfortunately, the way God has it, you can do something extremely evil. God doesn't come just take your soul. He gives everybody free choice. And he deals with you in the afterlife. But when you do something bad, God doesn't come down and give you a whooping. And take your body back up to heaven and say, you going to hell, boy. You that's not what happens. So if that's the case, then let's just free all the criminals then, right? Let's just free everybody. Free fucking El Chapo. Free Lil Durk. If what you call it still alive, Jeffrey Dahmer, all these serial killers, school shootings, the dude that went into the black, I forgot his name. Was it Dylan Roof, who went into the black church in Carolina and killed a bunch of people for no reason? The dudes that go in school and kill a bunch of innocent kids and elementary school kids in school. Let's just free all of them then and let God handle it, right? God is handling it. He's handling it through the judge, the lawyer, the prosecutor, and the court system, bro. Y'all crazy as hell.
Gang violence here in different rifts and beefs.
Believe it or not, this is the most cordial and polite conversation that Trap Lil Ross had from somebody's from Durk team today. Because after this brother got done talking to Trap Lil Ross, that's when the foolery started, okay? That's when it got hostile. That's when people got in Trap Lil Ross' face, began to call him names. Court marshals had to step in to stop things from getting violent.
So this is a case about a Beverly Hills murder, though, right? That's been severed. So those issues are definitely going to get spoken about in part two, right?
Even the point of just so much injustice everywhere. So
this is the free Durk. I'm out here having conversations. I'm definitely not, against people having their opinions on this situation. I do have a King Von tattoo, but I'm a massive fan of King Von. They want to see the King Von tattoo. So all of y'all that are saying I'm biased, I don't like Durk, I got a King Von tattoo, and it's right here.
What made you get it? What inspired you to get it?
He's one of my favorite rappers. Changed my life. Definitely kind of was somebody that had a huge impact on me. His music was incredible, but unfortunately it does seem like, you know, there were two sides to King Von. And the music was amazing, but allegedly there were a lot of really bad things that happened. And, you know, we're going to find out what happens at the bottom of that. But anyway, as you can see, it's crazy out here, right? I feel like that's all I'm going to say on this for now. I'll catch you guys up with some new information.
I think rappers and their team are so used to D-Rodding from media personalities and bloggers that they treat neutrality as hating. I don't think what Trap Lil Ross has done has risen to the level of hating. Now, have Trap Lil Ross misinterpreted a couple of things? Maybe. Right? Maybe Trap Lil Ross' opinions and interpretation of certain things that took place in court, maybe, you know, people don't agree with it. A lot of folks don't agree with Trap Lil Ross' interpretation of certain things. More famously, right, the snitching accusation, okay?
Yeah.
But hold on. Nah, that ain't snitching. But that's his interpretation. That's his opinion. He can say it.
Exactly.
Now, if he's reporting nothing but negative things about Lil Durk, then you could probably have a problem with it. But
but he reporting both sides.
Like, for the most part, I think Trap Lil Ross have been like pretty neutral. Now, what I will say is, the more they press him, right, you know, like the more vindictive, like Trap Lil Ross' tone is becoming. Like the more, you know, they show up and confront him outside that trial, the more we see Trap Lil Ross on Twitter making sure to go at Durk. Right. So it's probably not in their best interest to keep, you know, confronting Trap Lil Ross about these things because, like, I'm starting to see Trap Lil Ross' tone shift a little bit. Like, for example, Exhibit A right here. Trap Lil Ross wouldn't have wrote this on day one. He wouldn't have went at Brian Steele and Lil Durk like this on day one. He wouldn't have made the block hot for Lil Durk like this. But because it's day three and they keep confronting him and they keep trying to bully him, so now he's gonna do exactly what they're accusing him of doing, which is put his thumb on the scale.
Right.
So Trap Lil Ross will take
because you're not about to bully. Trap Lil Ross looking at it like, bro, y'all not about to bully me into doing what y'all say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not about to bully me into doing what y'all say to do it, and because y'all want me to dick ride y'all and kiss y'all ass. I think that's how he looking at it. And if y'all so mad at me for whatever reason, let's say, because it seems like they're mad at him because he's pushing a certain narrative. That's what they say, right? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to push the shit out the narrative. Now what you going to do? You going to beat my ass outside the federal courtroom? I'm sure Trap Lil Ross probably damn near wish y'all would touch him outside the federal courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This follow the leader, monkey see, monkey do type of attitude, type of like rhetoric that goes on in people's brains is insane to me.
You were right. Brian Steele just told multiple lies during cross-examination. By the way, these lies were not objected to. So the lies were not caught by nobody in the courtroom but Trap Lil Ross. Yeah. So now Trap Lil Ross is saying,
now he pointing out lies and shit.
Y'all ain't catch these lies?
Right.
Hold on, man. Nah, man. Yeah, I love Ross. So Ross writes, he claimed Quando's anointed Lord Tim as King Tim after killing King Von.
What's that have to do with
Trap Lil Ross says, false. This was a random Savannah rapper who did this. FBI agent on stand insanely agreed this lie was true. So he's saying, bro, nobody in the courtroom caught this lie? Only me caught this lie? Lil Durk and them owe it upon themselves.
Yeah.
Y'all got to take accountability for this. Because he wasn't on this type time on day one.
Because I'm going to tell you this is what I said in my other video, bro. If you want Trap Lil Ross to not do stuff like this, you want him to only push the free Durk shit, you only want to push the positive that Durk got, okay, pay him. Put some money in his pocket. All that big-ass budget y'all got to try to get Lil Durk free, put your money where your mouth is and pay him then. Pay him a nice, pretty penny. I bet you he won't say nothing bad about Durk ass no more. Give him a cool 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 real quick. Little $1 million, 600,000 or something. I bet you he won't say nothing bad no more. Y'all don't want to do that though. Y'all think motherfucker just gonna bully. You can't bully somebody in a federal courtroom, bro. That's not really how that works, gang. But a lot of niggas, especially who come from street-oriented backgrounds, y'all think that y'all, just like how Pooh Shiesty thought he could handle that Gucci Mane situation in the street way, and he found out real quick. A lot of street niggas think that they can handle every situation in a street gangster way. You can't put Trap Lil Ross in the corner, put a gun to his face, and tell him to stop making them tweets, stop playing with me, this, that, the third. You can't do that. That would be stupid if you did do it.
Wasn't doing nothing like this, bro, on day one. Now, I'll be real. I can defend this, man. I can defend this, man. Now, this I can't defend. This is like, this is wild. Right? So Trapler Ross continue, and he write, he also said multiple times Lil Tim murdered King Von. False. The murder charges were dropped and the killing considered self-defense. Bet everyone's so concerned about factual reporting won't repost that today, though.
Right.
Laugh emoji. So
they only concerned about factual reporting for the things that they are biased about. These people are biased. Lil Durk is their favorite rapper. Lil Durk is they fucking some of these people's provider. Lil Durk might be just a friend. They might be tapped in with Lil Durk, and they're biased, and they really what they want you to do is they want you to be biased with them. So they're gonna call you biased because you being factual, and they're gonna say you hating because they biased and you not being biased with them.
Won't repost that today, though. Laugh emoji. So clearly, like, Trapler Ross now has like a chip on his shoulder,
right?
And I don't blame nobody but Durk and his team. Yo, right now, if Durk is aware of what's going on, Durk need to make that call in, bro. Stand down.
Right.
Stand down, bro. The last thing you need is somebody swaying the public perception, right? Bro, I don't want to hear nothing about how the judge tell the jurors, hey, don't go home and look at social media. Man, cut it out, bro. If you think those jurors ain't on social media, looking at everything, right? Re-examining the facts based on social media posts, you're out of your mind. So if somebody is helping to sway the public perception, you probably don't want that person anti-you. Right. You probably want that person to be as neutral as they can be. And you don't want to give them any incentive to want you in jail. Ross will make another tweet earlier today letting the public know that he's currently being bullied. Now, he didn't specify who exactly was bullying him, but he did say, getting bullied into deleting post now. Wow. I can tell you the exact tweet that they were hovering around Trapler Ross telling him he must delete it right now. That was the OTFDD tweet. So Trapler Ross posted, prosecutors pulled up a post from OTFDD where OTFDD just tagged Quando Rondo at Quando Rondo, where was your pipe at? Taunting Quando Rondo after they just shot and killed Quando Rondo's cousin. Right. Now, the reason why that would just be just exponentially stupid is because OTFDD was one of the shooters. So you posting at Quando where your pipe is at is absurd. Right. Once Trapler Ross posted this, the entire internet began to call OTFDD the dumbest criminal they've ever seen. Right, the greatest self-snitcher of all time. You would post this, but y'all call us the police.
Where's all the energy for them? You kill somebody and then you posted something and asked Quando Rondo where your gun at? You ain't had no gun when I was just on you because you ain't shoot back at all. Your home, basically what he's saying. Where's all the discourse for that? Where's all the ridicule for that? But Trap Lord Ross is the police because he reposted it. Got you.
Murder? Like, are you crazy? But apparently that was not the case. So Trapler Ross posted this immediately after the prosecutor said it in court. When it came back from recess, the defense attorney for OTFDD, he began to plead his case. And he clarified OTFDD didn't write that post. That was a repost from OTFDD. So somebody else posted it, and then OTFDD reposted it to his Instagram.
Still stupid.
Apparently, like, the clarification was what they were like mad about, and they really wanted Trapler Ross to clarify this, which he already clarified it. He just kept his other tweet up still. I don't know about y'all, bruh. All right, fam, a repost and writing it yourself,
what's the difference?
Ain't no difference to me.
If you know you did it, you had something to do with the murder.
The stupidity, bruh.
Right.
If you're reposting, you're co-signing it. You're making a mockery. If you just committed a murder, the last thing you want to do is associate yourself with that murder. Why would you repost that? It says more about his team that they feel like there is a difference between him writing the post and him reposting it. Why would he even repost it in the first place, knowing he was one of the shooters? 2 hours later, it looks like Trapler Ross did not delete the tweet, so they confronted him again, this time more hostile than the first, telling Trapler Ross he got to delete the tweet right now. Now, Trapler Ross would apparently write that this was so hostile.
He know what he doing. Y'all fucking with the wrong person. Y'all really just cooking y'all homie more and more. Y'all don't even realize it. Yeah, you got to take a second to think on more than one level deep, bro. So let's read this tweet, okay? I might take a break from tweeting. He said I might. I think Trap Lord Ross knows what he's doing because Trap Lord Ross is not an idiot. Durk's team is acting very unprofessional, screaming delete the tweet in my face outside the courtroom, leading to court marshals having to step in. Very disappointing and intimidating conduct towards the press in this case. You have to do your homework on freedom of press. It's one of the it's in the Constitution that you have the freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, things of that nature. You might, knowing that your friend, your close friend, your close homie, associate, whatever you want to call it, knowing that he's in this same courtroom fighting for his life in a murder for hire case that he could very well get the death penalty for. And then after this case, it is documented that he has to go to a RICO case where they're trying to say he is the head of a gang. You probably want to stop with the trying to intimidate the press type of deal. Because now that the court marshals had to step in, now if Trap Lord Ross wants to file any type of police report, any type of just documentation for these occurrences, it's just going to get worse for y'all. Look, this guy's so crazy. His team is outside intimidating witnesses, intimidating press. I just think it'd be a good idea for y'all to leave Trap Lord Ross the fuck alone. Now, how about that? Yeah, it'd be a great idea for everybody who has any involvement with Lil Durk. It'd be a great idea for y'all to leave Trap Lord Ross the fuck alone. Because you, first that, and also number two, you don't want to make an enemy out of this man. That's not smart. To make an enemy out of the person who is, and let you tell it, swaying the narrative and swaying the opinion of the public through the media. Probably not the best idea, bro. You know what I mean, though? Like,
that it has convinced them to just stop tweeting altogether. So he write, I might take a break from tweeting. Durk's team acting very unprofessional, screaming delete the tweet in my face outside the courtroom, leading the court marshals having to step in. Very disappointing and intimidating conduct towards the press in this case.
Wow, I cannot believe what just happened inside the courthouse. This isn't even about Durk. This one's actually about me. There's been a very controversial post that has been going around. Everybody's very upset that I basically did a tweet about that post that Didi had reshared. All right, the prosecution had worded it in a way that it sounded like Didi had posted it, and I posted that on Twitter. I came back, and Didi's lawyer spent a whole hour breaking down in meticulous detail how this was a repost. It wasn't an original post. Didi hadn't typed the post. He had reposted it into a group chat. It was that post that said, at Quando Rondo, we're your pipe hat gang. He had reposted it into a chat along with his own comment, basically saying he looking crazy. Like he basically, it was he playing crazy, right? So as soon as I got out of court after hearing Didi's lawyer argue that point very, very well, maybe a little bit too well, maybe the point had already come home before, you know, he talked about it for a much longer time than he needed to talk about it. And I felt like he might have brought more attention to the fact that that was a bit of an unsavory thing to repost. I posted that. As soon as I got out, I said Didi's lawyer just clapped back. But for some reason, it seems like the people at the courthouse, the people that have been following this case, and Durk's team specifically, they're not reading everything. They're over here reading the transcripts, but they're not reading all of my tweets. Right. So everybody was upset about the tweet that I posted when I got out the courtroom the first time. Nobody had talked about the second tweet where I said that Didi's lawyer just clapped back. And I got confronted by Lil Durk's PR woman. She screamed in my face outside the courtroom, delete the tweet. I said, what do you mean? Like, what about Didi's lawyer talking for an hour about, you know, basically making the point? I said, I came out the courtroom, I was given the impression that Didi had posted it. Didi's lawyer went back into the courtroom. He made it very clear. He made a very long, extended, maybe an overextended argument about why that wasn't the case. He got his point home. He got his point further than home, right? He got the point so far home that he might have, you know, left it on screen a little bit too long and made things look a little bit bad. Durk's PR person said, I'm not talking about that. We're not talking about that. So they're just ignoring the facts. They're pressing me over stuff that's like incomplete information. I'm just coming out the courtroom, giving you guys the updates as soon as I possibly can. Yes, sometimes the prosecution are going to say things that aren't true. Sometimes the defense are going to say things that aren't true.
All you doing is telling people what they did.
That are absolutely false.
When you read these comments, I think people kind of felt what Trapler Ross was saying, but then he kind of lost a lot of people with the Brian Steele thing. So one person says, you're not a lawyer, so your opinion on Brian is irrelevant. But no, I don't think it's irrelevant, bro. I think Trapler Ross, who have done a lot of research, who have studied this, he knows like basic things like, no, the person who gave Lil Tim the name, like King Tim, was not Quando Rondo.
Why do I have to be? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, did you think that was like a drop the mic moment or something? I don't have to be a lawyer to have an opinion on. It's not even really an opinion, but I don't have to be a lawyer to have an opinion on a lawyer. You're not a lawyer, so your opinion on Brian is irrelevant. Bro, if Brian Steele goes in court and says something that is not true, and I know it's not true, I don't have to be a lawyer to know that it's not true. Like, what sense does that make?
You're not a lawyer, so your opinion on Brian is irrelevant. But no, I don't think it's irrelevant, bro. I think Trapler Ross, who have done a lot of research, who have studied this, he knows like basic things like, no, the person who gave Lil Tim the name, like King Tim, was not Quando Rondo.
Right.
So I think Trapler Ross is probably qualified as much as anyone else to call out Brian Steele if he's saying something that's not true and not correct. But him correcting Brian Steele is convincing people that, okay, like maybe you do got something against Durk, which I don't think is the case. I just think that's what people is, right? Like, it's interpreting that as. Now, some people is telling Ross, like, for example, West Coast Game Wars, man, keep going, Ross, keep doing your thing. Somebody says, man, Ross, I think what people are saying is that all your content on this case seems biased towards the prosecutor. And I mean, no offense by that. I've been following your updates about the trial and appreciate it, but have thought this is a few times listening to. Well, it's because the prosecutors are the one who are calling their witnesses right now, right? Right? Like, so the prosecutors of...
It's the same thing I said yesterday, bro. If the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears are playing in a game and the Chicago Bears are winning the game 50-0, and I'm reporting on the game, and all I'm reporting on is Chicago Bears spanking these niggas' ass, that's not me being unbiased. It's just 50-0, bro. It's not really nothing for me to report on the Green Bay Packers. It's nothing good to report if they're losing. That just is what it is, bro. I don't know.
Of course,
like, people
we'll be calling
man.
witnesses that benefits what they got to say. So right now, it feels like everything that Trapler Ross is going to report obviously is going to be
the prosecutors,
the prosecutors, because he's reporting on the prosecutors
in
their
time.
Statements and their arguments, right? When Lil Durk and them, when it's their time to call their witnesses,
he gonna
and
report
when it's
on
their
that.
time to do their closing statements, right? Then probably you'll see something more positive towards Durk. But man,
I don't know. People crazy. Let me go on. What he gonna say?
I don't think it's wise to press Trapler Ross at
all.
I don't
either.
Right? I think all you're doing at that point is just kind of antagonizing him and making him go all out hate Durk if he hasn't already. Okay, so y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? What do y'all think about them pressing?
Uh-oh.
Back here, I'm back outside the courthouse. You know what's going on, man. We're back here for Durk. This is day 6, I believe. But what's truly crazy is OTF Jam was on the stand at the end of the day yesterday. He's going to be continuing his testimony today. It's going to be crazy. Now, obviously, you saw me getting mobbed by Durk fans yesterday. I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on. I'm getting all types of DMs, all types of people threatening me, saying they're going to drop the low. Bro, you know where I'm at every single day, bro. I'm not scared of you guys. But at the end of the day, it is absolutely crazy. Everybody's trying to suppress free speech. I wonder if anybody's got to lie on me again today. All of these guys acting like they're tough, big free Durk, but I think some of you guys are snitching. You're over here talking to the courthouse staff, talking about he's wearing meta glasses. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing meta about these glasses at all. You guys are snitches.
Ain't nothing meta about these glasses. He didn't call y'all snitches. He said, ain't nothing meta about these glasses, boy. Fuck is you saying?
You guys are liars, bro. And OTF Jam is up there, you know.
Look at this guy. Steady talking about meet Durk. You biased as hell, Mayo, man. He said, you're biased. This is what I keep saying. Look at his account. His profile picture for his Instagram is Lil Durk's mugshot. Seems like you're biased, bro. It seems like you're biased and you're mad that other people are biased in the opposite direction. And that's basically where all this is coming from. I'll be happy when black people stop allowing other races into our problem and business. That's why we've been suffering for 400 years. What the fuck what are you talking about? What? Do y'all really be thinking that the shit that y'all be saying makes sense? I'll be happy when black people stop allowing other races into our problems and business. That's why we've been suffering for 400 years now. What are you talking about, bro? This nigga's a Grammy Award winning artist who's on trial for murder. What are you talking about? What does that even mean? Like, I don't know. Some of these people are insane. DL losers who worship a murderer who wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. No cap. People like this are the reason we got to get rid of the No Child Left Behind grown-ass men talking gibberish. No, for real, though. He weren't at first, but now the Durk fans got him hating on Durk. You don't know Durk, you getting in his business. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you niggas be having, your Durk be y'all whole fucking life. He don't even know who you are, bro. They mad at the wrong person. No cap. I don't understand why folks mad at him for detailing public information. People act like he's doing his own investigation trying to get Durk. Exactly. I don't know. You just don't like that he's telling the truth about how the trial is going. You want to be spoon-fed only what you want to hear, and then if it gets convicted, you can be like, what the fuck, how? Exactly. You only want to hear the shit that you want to hear. You don't want him to talk about nothing that's really going on. You only want to hear shit that you want to hear. To me, this is a byproduct. And the fact that, mind you, these are grown ass men in the comments. You see a few women saying this. Okay, the women can say that. The women are kind of, they're on a whole fucking, like, women live in la la land. Look at what they're saying. Just do correct reporting and you won't have issues. That's exactly what he's doing. He's not twisting the narrative. He's telling everything he's saying is facts. He hasn't said one lie yet. What lie has he told? Y'all just getting y'all feeling. But let me tell y'all about the world, bro. Let me tell y'all about how the world works. Most people are not smart enough to have their own thought process. Most people, and I mean most, I mean a good 90% of people, at least 80% of people, are not smart enough to have their own thought process. They get told what to think. 90% of these people in the comment section don't even know why other people are mad at Trap Lord Ross. They're just mad because other people are mad. You get it? Just like you can look at a McDonald's commercial and that burger look good than a motherfucker on the commercial. And then you go in McDonald's, it don't never look like that, but you keep coming back. Because it say, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. The commercial told you was loving it, so now you talking about you loving it. Knowing damn well that that's some of the most unhealthy food in the world. If enough people, and that's why people are just it's so easy to manipulate people. All you have to do is say Trap Lord Ross is a liar, he's biased, he's a hater, he's this, he's that. And if you say that enough, people will start thinking that too. Trap Lord Ross is a liar. I guarantee you go through how many comments is on here? I don't know. It's not no number of comments, I don't think. But let's say it's 1,000 comments, right? Out of that 1,000 comments, let's say 1,000 people saying like they don't like Ross or whatever. You're only saying, if you ask them, what did he do? They can't tell you. Do you see what I mean? Like, most people like Air Force Ones because everybody else like Air Force Ones. Most people liked Hellcat when And you could always tell those type of people. When Hellcats are trending, they buying Hellcats. When BMWs are trending, they buying BMWs. When Mercedes are trending, they buying Mercedes. When Rolls Royces are trending or Chrysler 300s are trending, they buying Chrysler 300s. When Mike Amiri jeans are trending, they buying Amiri jeans. Next month, when it's Balmain, they gonna buy the Balmain. Like, those are the type of people. Because you can't none of y'all tell me what he did. It's not that they don't want you to do it. It's that you put certain narratives out based on what you believe, and not every narrative is the correct narrative. Just keep it simple and only list the facts and not your opinion. That's what's getting folks worked up. When you put opinionated statements out instead of keeping it factual. Why do I have to? This is your opinion right here. This is what you're saying right here is an opinion. Why do I have to not put my opinion in something? Again, Trap Lil Ross is an independent journalist. If he wants to put out his opinion, he can put out his opinion. One thing he always does is when he says something, he says, in my opinion. If I have an opinion on something, I can speak that opinion, bro. I don't have to not say it because how y'all gonna feel. Like, that's just is what it is. Threats will make Durk look worse. You never know. The families of the jury or jury themselves may see this and influence their... Exactly. You're special ed if you think random fans have any impact on Durk in his case. They have no link to Durk or murder for his higher case. And his fans special ed for thinking a reporter is going to make Durk case worse. They shouldn't. A lot of people are annoyed by his... No, these aren't just his fans, though. These are his PR person is getting in. The people that is acting, not just random fans. This is his PR person. These are people who are... He's probably on Lil Durk's payroll doing this. It's not the same thing, but this is what I say. Most people don't know enough about shit to talk. It's just entertaining for them to get in the comment section and say this and say that. He really don't care. I don't know why Durk fans do. He just reporting. Bro, what's up with your tie? They roughed you up, blood? Man, let me tell y'all something. Let me show y'all why this man don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about. Channel data is not yet available. Whatever, dude. Refresh. Pop up. There we go. $2 million. Last 7 days. That's about $25,000 he done made in a week. Talking about this shit. He probably making another bag from Twitter. Okay? And then you come back here. That's not even his crazy. It's big as what you call it. That's not even his biggest channel. He got another channel over here, 1.5 million subscribers, where he got another 5,000 views this week. $5,000 this week. And he ain't even posted. This nigga ain't posted in a week. In 3 weeks. And he got another $5,000 this week from doing no work. He getting another bag from Twitter. So that's why he don't get no fuck.
I might have heard one of the damnest things in this whole trial today when OTF Jam was actually on the stand. He said that there was basically all these frantic phone calls made when they got Quando Rondo's location to a bunch of hitters in Chicago trying to get them on a job. It was Didi and Booney Mo. Apparently Booney Mo was specifically the person that called him and basically asked him about being involved. But he had Lil Durk on a FaceTime call on another phone on speaker. So Jam knew that Durk was there and that he was privy to this call. He overheard Booney Mo saying, "Blood, you there on the other line?" And then basically, apparently, all right, he didn't have any info about what the hit was going to be. So Jam tried to call Lil Durk directly 2 times. Durk didn't answer. And then Booney called him back and said, "Hey, Durk doesn't want no one calling his phone that's coming out to LA. He didn't want no contact with anyone that's flying out to LA. So Jam said, like, he knew something crazy was going on, but he didn't actually know what the details were. He ends up getting flown out to LA. And this absolutely blew my mind. He ends up getting flown out to San Diego, driven to LA. They're in this like Sprinter bus, okay? They stop off at a Hooters in San Diego and they basically get told on a FaceTime by Doody Low they got Quando Rondo's location, and the whole reason they've been flown out there is to kill him. They're going to trick him and say that somebody's going to come and deliver him some weed at his hotel, and they're going to kill him outside his hotel. But what was crazy is after that, okay, Didi got on FaceTime apparently with Lil Durk in the Sprinter bus and apparently showed Lil Durk the hitters on FaceTime. Apparently, Didi turned his phone to show Durk all of the hitters and said, "Yeah, you see the Navy SEALs, all right? And then Jam basically gave testimony. They said, like, what was your understanding of what he meant? He was saying Navy SEALs, they're guys that go on missions. They're guys that go and kill people. He said that he turned the phone so that Lil Durk could see OTF Jam, and Durk basically told Jam, yeah, go crazy, and Jam slammed the rakes. He threw GDK, and then basically, like, you know, threw up the GD sign. He let the court know what that was. And then basically they kept on going to LA. What's even more crazy is they apparently stopped off on the way and everybody tried to take a picture of the LA skyline, but it was too dark. But the hitmen were really pulling up to the side of the road in the Sprinter after having FaceTimes with Durk, taking pictures of where they were at. They were loving the view. And then they also stopped off at, they said they stopped off at a store. He said, I wasn't sure if it was Target or Walmart, but they basically went there to buy hoodies and gloves, you know, to disguise themselves. They said nobody brought hoodies and gloves with them, so they needed to get them there. After that, apparently once they got to LA, they met with OTF Vonnie, and OTF Vonnie pulled up. You know what Vonnie said to them? One of the first things Vonnie said to them, he said, hey guys, I got bad news. They said, what's the bad news? He said, I only got 3 guns. Absolutely crazy. Then started putting guns in people's hands. He said that he had 2 Glocks with extendos. One of them had a switch on it, and the other one was a Beretta, kind of more of an old school gun. And he's saying that Didi apparently...
He can't be making all this shit up because he got the gun, what type of gun it was, all
he
type
alleged
of shit.
That, I think it was Didi. He alleged that he put the Beretta in Jam's hand and said, I'm rusty. And basically it's like, yeah, you got this. Didi wasn't going to shoot. It's crazy. I might have heard one of the...
These comments are insane. How the fuck is Baldy Low? Damn, why you gotta be Baldy Low? Standing outside the courtroom trying to hug India if he's been named as a co-conspirator, something ain't adding up. Man, I don't know what's going on no more, bro. I'm just sitting here reacting, gang. I don't know. There's no proof this phone call happened. Y'all don't know what strong evidence is, and it's funny. Jam gonna get exposed as a hater on the stand. He lied on Durk because they stopped fucking with him. How long would the trial be? Like, wrap it up. Maybe he did lie, bro, but it's about the jury. It's not about him telling the truth, lying, finessing. That don't matter. It's about what the jury believes. This is a jury case, bro. If the jury believed that Durk did it based off what Jam is doing, they gonna find his ass guilty. Point blank, period. This case be, end of the day, he say or she say don't matter. It's the evidence and what they can actually prove. Lord have mercy. Federal prosecutors can use hearsay from an informant if it fits into a specific exception, so it's not necessarily beat because of that. 6-piece fried hard, extra barbecue sauce.
So it looks like it's official. Duty Low has been confirmed as co-conspirator number 4, and the person who confirmed it was OTF Jam himself. Now we've been wondering who was it.
They say Duty ain't coming back outside the courtroom. Hell no, my ass already been in Mexico. Y'all nigga crazy as hell. If Duty Low isn't picked up within 7 days, he may be talking to those alphabet boys. This why India ain't want to hug his bald ass. You should avoid conflict. Your journalism is and can be discredited by you doing this. Not saying you're spreading misinformation, but the way you put it out, you come off biased to a certain side. Who gives a fuck? He coming at Durk harder than the guys who actually did it. Definitely biased. Let's listen to this and tell me what's biased.
That gave the location of Quando Rondo in LA to the alleged hitmen, to Durk, to the team and all of that kind of stuff. Well, what is crazy is that we found out that there was apparently like a crazy conversation after basically like all the hitmen arrived in San Diego. Apparently none of them knew what was going on, but they had an inkling something crazy was going on. And I'm not gonna lie, Durk really put himself in it with some of this stuff. So apparently, okay, all of the hitmen were kind of rounded up for some kind of secret mission. They didn't know what was going on. They all quickly got booked to these flights to San Diego. And apparently when Jam and another one of the hitters basically arrived,
he keeps saying apparently.
San Diego.
He keeps saying apparently. All he's doing is reporting on what Jam is saying. What about this is biased? I don't understand.
They got on a FaceTime with Duty Low, who told them that they got the location for Quando Rondo. They got the low from basically like a weed dealer that was going to go and take them some weed, and that they were basically going to trick him into coming outside to pick up weed, and they were going to kill him outside of his hotel. Well, it's confirmed that was Duty Low. Now, not only did we were hearing about Duty Low being in group chats, and I thought, oh, maybe they're going to show some series of messages with Duty Low and other stuff that he had said, but it was Jam that took the stand and said that it was Duty Low that basically told them after they'd arrived in California that they were there on a mission
to kill Quando Rondo. And Jam said something really interesting. He said, look, he felt like it was too hot to kill somebody in Los Angeles. He was thinking, there's too many police. I don't know the city. I don't know how to get away if I get in a high-speed chase, if I get hurt. I don't know where I'm going. This is a bad idea. But he said it was too late. I was already there, and I just went with it. So OTF Jam told the courtroom, he basically said, look, where I'm from, you don't stop nobody killing somebody. That's what gets you killed. They said that they'll think you're police. They'll get mad at you if you say that you want to stop a killing happening. But he wasn't really happy about it because he said he didn't consider himself in the Quando beef. He said he wasn't that close with King Von. They spoke a couple of times. And what was crazy is Jam said that way back in the day before he knew Von, he was trying to riz up King Von's sister. But he said he didn't feel like he should have had to be one of those people that slid for Von.
Where's biased? What did he say that was biased? All he's doing is he's literally reading a notebook and he's literally just reporting on what was said in court. I don't understand what's biased about that.